What's good, y'all? This is Dre with Brothers United Leadership Development, Bill 206 Media. This is the collective network where we highlight amazing things that amazing people are doing within our community, sharing those resources out. So I'm in the studio with the Double Dutch Divas. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So I'm going to let you guys figure out how you guys are going to make it happen. And we're going to jump into this amazing interview.
Hey, you guys. My name is Angie Mosley. I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Hi, I'm Disha Prentice, and I'm from Seattle, Washington as well.
That's what's up, Double Dutch Divas. So you guys take a few deep breaths. You know, it's going to be cool. It's just a conversation, man. That's like how we be rapping. So tell folks a little bit about yourself. We just want to ground the conversation a little bit about who you are. And then we got a few other questions we'll jump into.
Well, that's what's up. Well, I'm happy to be here, to be live, interviewing about Double Dutch Divas, which is a passion of mine. So again, my name is Angie Mosley. I'm from 206 Seattle, Washington. Represent, baby, all day. But as far as Double Dutch Divas, because that's why we're here, is to talk about, how this is an inspiration to others. But it's my baby, it's my passion. I've been double dutching for a long time. And I think that a lot of my generation, I'm 44 years old, been double dutching for a long time, but it went, in instinct. And it's just like, it's nowhere to be found. But every time, I'm trying to double dutch with others, it's like, what's that? Or if I try to, introduce it to a younger generation, it's like, what's that? So I tell my homegirls, let's go double dutch. And they're with it because they know about it. But it's just to bring it back to reality that, double dutch is not just a sport, but it gets you out of, different depressions, anxiety. It allows you to meet other people that, you probably wouldn't have met, if you're not part of Double Dutch Divas or whatnot. Or not just even being part of Double Dutch Divas, just coming out and seeing what we're all about. You know what I'm saying? Just to get up out the bed and be like, well, let me go see what's up. Because if I look at it, if there was no Double Dutch Divas, somebody would be doing something else, probably drinking or doing just whatever right. You do that you probably, it wouldn't inspire you like Double Dutch Divas or whatnot. But again, it's a passion of mine to get it out there in the community that this is something that we want to do. We want to live healthier and we want to live better. And double dutch, if I'm at home doing cardio or on the treadmill for 5 minutes, I'm tired. But I go to Double Dutch Diva session and we're out there double dutching for like 3 hours. You feel me? And not even know, with no problem. So that's just a snippet about, who I am or whatnot. Angie Mosley, 206 Finest, Double Dutch Divas. I'm going to give it over to Disha because I know there's a lot more to talk about.
Well, I'm Disha and I'm from West Seattle. And I'm just here to support Angie's vision about Double Dutch Divas. It's about health and bringing the community together. And I love it. I love how the kids react to it and how they've never double dutched or jumped and they're just having a ball with it. I mean, I just love it. That's the part.
Yes, dope. So I just want to make sure folks can hear you. So make sure that you
Can you guys hear me?
There we go. Okay. So you guys kind of jumped a little ahead to the next question, which is on point though. And and you can elaborate because I know Angie, I know you've been tapped into the community a lot. So share with folks a little bit what you are doing and have done in the community. So you guys started jumping into the Double Dutch Divas and talking about the impacts that has health wise and the sisterhood and more of a positive outlet for a lot of stressful stuff that we're dealing with in life, not just,
right.
Like you said, so other things that we can do to manage some of those situations, but, this is a positive outlet. So I really want to make some space for you guys to share more about Double Dutch Divas, the impact of that, but then also, can elaborate like how you've been tapped in over the years. I know me and you've tapped in at events and you broke the Double Dutch ropes out and
right.
late night reunions. And,
right. And not even having nothing to do with Double Dutch Divas, right. But just because jump roping is just everything. I don't know if it's everything to you, but it's everything to me. And I know that it brings happiness. So as far as community, I've been at several community centers. I've been with the city of Seattle, the city of Tukwila, the city of SeaTac. I did late night at the Tukwila Community Center. I stayed doing late night at High Point. You know what I'm saying? That's where Jimmy Daniels, you know what I'm saying? And Johnny, Laura Wilburn, you know what I'm saying? Lakima Bell. I met a lot of dope people in the community. You know what I'm saying? Doing late night at the Rainier Beach Community Center. Started off at Bitter Lake with Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? I've been everywhere. Tukwila Community Center. You know what I'm saying? With Nate. You know, and I'll be back there doing Double Dutch. But I mean, that's later. But just to say that, just being in the community, some folks, they're like, "Are you gonna be a late night tonight?" Because my daughter's gonna come. But if you're not gonna be there, she ain't gonna be there. Because I'm not about to be letting your kids cuss. I'm like, what are you doing? Do 5 push-ups. They're like, what's up with that? At the SeaTac Community Center, give me 5 push-ups to do, you know, because you're cussing or whatnot. But just in the community, you have to be consistent with these kids, because otherwise they're not going to trust you. The parents are not going to trust you. And because I do have history with community centers or whatnot, then I have the trust with the parents. You know what I'm saying? I have the trust with the kids. You know what I'm saying? And with that, being consistent and having a passion for the community, then that's how you get people to come to anything that you got going.
Right.
And that's what, and sometimes I wasn't getting, it's not about no money. I tell people I don't do it for the income. I do it for the outcome. And that's straight from the heart. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I got two sons, 19 and 15. They're part of the community. And I want to know that if my kids go to your late night, that they're going to be safe. If my sons say, "Oh, Dre, I'm about to leave early," that's cool. Nah, it's not cool. Because I didn't say you could leave early. I said stay to the end.
Right.
And I'm gonna come pick you up. You know what I'm saying? So that's like me. I'm like, wait, does your mom know? Because I'm about to call her right now. They're like, no. Well, no. I'm not. I keep it 100. And they want to make sure that they're dealing with people that keep it 100. You know what I'm saying?
And you're part of My Sister's Keeper as well, correct?
I do My Sister's Keeper. I started off with Damian Hicks, you know what I'm saying, at Mercer Middle School. And with, I deal with a lot of people. I don't like the name drop, but I like the name drop. So Cheryl.
you not like the name drop? I like the name drop.
But name drop in a good way, though. You know what I'm saying? Cheryl Jackson.
There's people are doing good stuff.
Right. And I love making sure that I represent. But then in my mind, sometimes I forget, you know what I'm saying? But these people are like on the top. Like, so with Damien, he's hella dope. So yeah, I do My Sister's Keeper. I'm a mentor for My Sister's Keeper, inherited from Mercer Middle School. And we collaborated with Washington Middle School. And then we went on it was camping, it was hiking, it was all that. We stayed for a couple of days with the best counselors ever.
Dope.
All the best kids ever. And they be like, Miss Angie. And I'm like, where I know you from? They're like, we went camping. I'm like, oh yeah, we popped it. We had our chance, you know, and everything. And they love that. I'm 44 years old, but you can't tell. I don't know. Maybe you can. But anyway, the kids be like acting like I'm their sister. They be like either sister or auntie. And I love that they can feel comfortable calling me sister or auntie. Right. You know, they trust me. They talk to me about different personal stuff or whatnot. So, and that's another thing with rec leaders and counselors and mentors. Sometimes our students will talk to you about stuff that they won't talk to their parents about, but it's not necessarily bad. It's just an outlet.
Right.
Just listen. Don't push them away, or don't be like, oh, you shouldn't do that. And I'm going to go tell your mom. Like, there's certain things that we got to be like, Mom, so let me tell you, okay, whatever. But on that, you know, confidentiality, instead of like having a personal conversation with the mom, talk to them like that's your niece or your nephew and be like, bro, you're not about to go do that.
Right.
Like, not today, you know?
Well, and that's the beauty about recreation, which Double Dutch definitely falls under that. You get to build that relationship, you know what I'm saying? And then you get to get on their level, and then that opens the door to have those more difficult conversations, or conversations where they want to confide in you and see. But it's really, like you said, guiding folks in the right direction.
On that confidence level.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So thank you for sharing. You know, I wanted to make sure that folks understood the breadth. It wasn't just, like you said, it's about the outcome, not the income, which, you know, that's resonates with me. You know what I mean? Like, it's really about the work. You know what I mean? Now, we need resources to make things happen, but at the end of the day, that's not the motivation. The motivation is you've been tapped in, and this is another chapter in the book of Angie.
Right. Well,
and your team.
That whole part, because it's not an Angie Mosley thing, it's a Double Dutch Diva thing. And my thing is that there's some people that feel like they know more than you because they don't read a book and they got their BA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not really all about, I mean, it's about that book smart, but it's about that street smart too. So you can know and read all the books you want to, but when you're in that situation, you're going to go read the book. Which chapter are you going to read?
Right.
You got to know what's going on with the community and know how to react. And you can't be on no fake stuff because they're going to ignore you the whole time.
Right. And common sense ain't common.
That whole part.
Yeah.
That whole part. You feel me?
So some people have both, but some people have none.
That whole part. And some people have one, which means none.
Right.
You feel me? Yeah. Yeah.
So the next question, and I want to make sure I get both of you guys input on this because this is important. Like, who or what inspires you and why? Like, what inspires you to do what you do, to kind of be and, stay tapped in and whatnot,
Daisha?
Oh, for me, I would say my parents, because they were always encouraging me to be better and to do more. In the community I grew up in, which is High Point, and High Point was all about family, all about bringing everybody together and working together and loving each other. And kids, they don't have that. They really don't have that today, which is really sad. But that's what inspires me to do what we do today, to be out here and bringing the community together, not just the community, but other people out here together and enjoying, having a good time, and showing that you can meet new people, different people, and still have a good time. Yeah.
So
I agree. So like if you say one person, I don't think one person inspires me. There's plenty of people. My mom, Linda Mosley, because I do represent my dad all the time on Facebook, but my mom doesn't have Facebook, but my mom is my heart, my everything, because she has a calm way of thinking. And I have my dad's personality and my mom's. So if somebody was to be like, yeah, go do this, and I'm like, yeah, but my mom always tells me the positive outlook on whatever the situation may be, and that God got my back. So she is very uplifting. You know what I'm saying? I got to represent my dad. He's uplifting too, because then he'll be like, you didn't say nothing about me. But yeah, so anyway, Dad, I got your back.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, it's not about you. So we're talking about Linda Mosley. So she really heals my soul. You know what I'm saying? And she helps me think about, if I did do this, what the outcome would be, instead of me doing that and figuring out what the outcome would be, and it's all bad. You know what I'm saying? So she's my calm, she's my everything, and I love her from the moon to the moon, back around. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's and then being able to be around individuals with an open mind. So if you want to either talk about anything, instead of somebody saying, no, that ain't gonna work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The people that I hang around are like, that's what's up. Tell me more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they're like, oh, here she go, because they know I be out of body experience talking about some crazy stuff because I want to invent all the stuff. And they don't be like, Angie, just be quiet. They be like, well, you know how Angie is. Just let her talk. And they just let me talk. And a lot of times I'll be having something positive to say, but it be all mixed up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, because everybody got different personality traits. You know what I'm saying? But I got a lot of good stuff inside my mind. You know what I'm saying? But so I surround myself with positive individuals that's going to help me. I say, help me help you.
Right.
Everybody needs somebody. You know what I'm saying? And whoever is on that misery loves company, my mom said, don't be that company.
Right.
So I don't talk about it. I just stay 50 feet. I just give you your space, and then I surround myself with positive individuals that will feed my soul with that good nutrient. You know what I'm saying? So that's what inspires me and keeps me together. And my family and my kids, and just bonding. You know what I'm saying? Family time, my kids, my friends, and just being around positive energy is what heals my soul.
That's what's up. So thank you guys for sharing. I think that's important for folks in the community to understand, what kind of drives you guys to be who you are and do what you do. This question is kind of a loaded question, but I wanted to include it because there's been so much going on over the past year or so, with this crazy ass local elections, crazy ass national elections, the Black Lives Matter movement, which really isn't nothing new to us. You know what I'm saying? It's just, other people are getting aware of it, but it's just on the COVID, like everything's been going on. Just so, what do you think? And I'll let you guys answer whatever you want. You can answer all that, or you can drill in on whatever, but what do you think about everything that's going on at this time?
Well, I think that as far as everything that's going on right now, I first look at the positive in everything. I try to. So I can look at a lot of stuff that's happening with COVID and having to take the test and all the stuff. And I don't want to bypass it, but I don't want that to be my roadblock. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang, I can have my opinion about all the stuff and all the stuff, but I don't want to spend my whole life thinking about something negative when um, you can have your opinion about whatever you want, but then I'm trying to focus on what's going on right now
Right.
because there's other situations going on as well. So you spend for the rest of your life on this,
Right.
you spend
There
the
you
rest
go.
of your life on this when there's like 10 other things that you can do positive that will enhance your life and others. So I don't really have an opinion about that because it goes hard. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I work for Seattle Public Schools. So there's certain topics that I don't discuss in the school because it goes hard
Right.
and people can turn your words into something else. So uh, I just be like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you about some positive stuff on what happened during COVID. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you a lot of things, positive things, and situations that happened during COVID. I can also talk about people that have lost their lives and families that have suffered because of COVID. In my own family, have suffered, during COVID, so I just like to speak positive. I know people be like, you're always about all that good stuff. And I'm like, yeah, because if I talk about all the freaking negative stuff that we go through, then I'm a freaking cry all the time because sometimes I'm a crybaby. So if I know my trait and what's going to happen if I start bringing up certain things, then I'm not about to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I just say live, laugh, and love. Trust in the Lord. Pray about it and talk to positive people all day.
As long as it's black Jesus, I'm with it.
Well, it is what it is. Talk like just pray. You know what I'm saying? Like pray to whoever you pray to. Just pray to yourself. Just
Right.
pray that I don't slap the mess out of somebody. I don't know. Pray that I don't get with the wrong person regarding an accident. Pray that when you leave the house, you don't leave the stove on. Just pray to whoever you pray for
Right.
or to, but pray for the positive outcome. Period. Point blank. 206 finest Double Dutch Divas. And Double Dutch we trust. And Double Dutch we trust, baby.
Do you want to add anything about how you feel about what's been going on? And I just want to preface it as this: like, this is our platform. This is what we talk. We don't got to tailor ourselves based on. Sometimes we got to play the safe role, like you were talking about at work or whatever, because you're worried about people spinning shit. But at the end of the day, like, we need to be able to be us, and it's okay for us to have emotions and have feelings. And
definitely.
not none of us want to harper on negative things. I agree with trying to stay positive. But at the same time, sometimes we got to get that shit off our chest.
Hello.
Otherwise, it diminishes us and we internalize it. So I just wanted to put that in the space too. But I totally understand what you're saying and respect what you're saying, like keeping it positive.
Right. Yeah. Well, just me being a grocery store worker, I've seen a lot. It was scary in the beginning, as far as COVID. It was very scary, and having to still work, being essential as they call it, and still having to be there. And other people not taking it serious has been really scary. And the Black Lives Matter. Wow. It's crazy that it took for this to happen to open people's eyes and see what was going on. It's being televised now more, I guess. And they just kind of turned their head before, to the point where I've had customers that have come up to me and gave me hugs. Customers that came up to me and said, I'm sorry. Customers saying they didn't know. Like, it's crazy the effect this had on everybody around. I can't really say I'm happy that it happened and brought it out, but I'm kind of glad that it did, to open our eyes, because it's been going on for a long time and we've been dealing with it. The outcome of it, I can't say it's always been its best.
Right.
It has been its best. I would have thought it would have been better than what it is today, but it really isn't. I don't think really much has changed.
Right.
And it's really sad because, we're the victims out here. We really are. And they don't see that. And they will never see that. I mean, back from slavery, they will never see it. So, I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
what this is.
it's a lot. And then Ice Cube got to the bar. He says detention is a lynching, right?
Mhm.
And so, I mean, really, they lynched this cat publicly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People saw it and it was like, whoa. But at the end of the day, like, they're killing us emotionally, physically, psychologically. It may be not all the way to physical death, but those, the little microaggressions that we're dealing with, things like you're saying, I had to tailor who I am because I'm worried about how that could be turned out. The conversations you got to have with your son, conversations I got to have with my son that nobody really even knows about.
Right.
And so that's the piece that, we want to make sure that we're highlighting that. And it's nothing, that's why I said it's really nothing new to us because we're in it, right?
Right.
And so it's great that they're being woke up, but it's also like it's the extreme, just like gun violence. Like we all know gun violence is the issue, but that's an extreme. Like where do these kids' self-esteem, self-value, self-worth, where they got to get to where now we got to solve our problems with gunplay? Like how far, there's all these other things, all these other cues that have been missed, and we're just ignoring them. Graduation rates, all this other stuff that a lot of us are trying to be upstream and try to figure out the problems, but it's always like when it gets to the extreme, it's a gun violence or somebody got killed by the police. Like it's over at that point. But there's all these other microaggressions, like if you work in groceries or whatever. Like I'm sure you've been dealing with passive aggressive stuff, microaggression, especially in Seattle. Like we're progressive, but at the same time, it's like that passive aggressive BS that we got to deal with. So, one, thank you guys for sharing the vulnerability and just being real about how we got to navigate, how we feel about what's going on. I feel like that question is important just to understand, like we have feelings and it's okay for us to have feelings as black folks, as black women, as black men, because sometimes we're always like that we got to be strong, especially black women.
Oh yeah.
Because systematically black men have been removed from the family and the household and the community, and you guys end up having to be the backbone. So I appreciate you guys for that, which kind of transitions us to our next question. With all that, everything is going on, I know Double Dutch is probably one thing that you guys are going to say that you guys do, but what have you done during this time? Self-care is trendy, take care of yourself, all this stuff, but what have you done? And some of them, I'll be transparent, some of our guests have said they've done a lot of things, and so it's an opportunity for people to share, so other people can say that might be something I want to try. And then some people are 100, like, you know what? I ain't really done nothing. And I know I don't really know how to do it, and that's okay too, because the reality is for us to push each other to greatness, to be better, and have these types of conversations. So like during this time, what have you guys done to really like take care of yourself?
So as far as what I've been doing, just it's something that I think I do, but I'm going harder with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to stay focused. What they say is an idle mind is the devil's playground. So I'm trying to keep myself motivated, and I read up on positive quotes. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay positive within my life. You know what I'm saying? So where I live at, I live on a hill. So I'm like, okay, so let me go walk. I don't want to get up early in the morning, but why say I'm going to do it at 1:00 when I can do it at 8:00 in the morning? You know what I'm saying? So, and then gardening, dealing with my yard is healing for me, because it's like, okay, so if you have a green thumb, if you don't have a green thumb, just be like, okay, this is my goal. There's weeds right there. I want to get that group of weeds and I want to pull them or whatever. You go out there, if you can grow a plant, then you can save a life. You know what I'm saying? And that's a goal, to where if you're planting something and you start to watch it grow, man, you're going to make sure that if you can't take care of it or water it, you're going to make sure somebody either helps you, or if you're out of town, look, take care of my baby. You know what I'm saying? I have a dog. His name is Junior. Everybody knows about my baby. So pets are healing too. So if you have a pet, go walk your dog. You know what I'm saying? And talk to your dog. I'm not saying just go talk to your dog. Like, what's the one movie?
Your dog has some clear biases. I want to put that on the air. You came to the football joint. That joint was, it didn't like light-skinned people.
No,
light-skinned babies, nothing.
He is kind of prejudiced. I'm just like, I don't know where he get that from. He don't get it from me. I don't know where he get that from. But it's a healing. You know what I'm saying? So do something that keeps your mind motivated. You know what I'm saying? I drink a gang of water. I try to exercise. And so me and Disha and a lot of other people, we used to do mixed fit. So we feel like since the pandemic, then there ain't no more mixed fit. But it's on YouTube.
Where it is.
It's on YouTube. It's not shut down. So quit playing. Go on YouTube. They got an hour and do it. Then well, I ain't got nobody to do it. Man, go wherever it is. I go in my room. Go in your room and something sexy. Go get in that mirror and do your mix fit and pop it. You know what I'm saying? And okay, so then if you can't go to the club, so what? Turn on some music and go fold your clothes. Go wash some clothes, fold your clothes, and hang them up. I got a gang of clothes I need to go hang up. And motivation is key. So instead of saying, don't be a procrastinator. If you tell yourself, I'll do it later, it ain't going to happen. Just do it right now. We got all the time in the world, but there is not enough time in a day.
Right.
I don't even know how that goes in the same sentence, but it is what it is. So just do something that heals your soul. If you don't know how to read, learn. I'm just kidding. Read a good book. You know what I'm saying? Watch a good movie. You don't have to watch the little reality shows. That's not reality because the shit's fake anyway. Ain't nobody, I mean,
It's drama.
look, they
Drama.
make so much money, but and if you're a chick, a real 100 chick, and you wear a weave, their weave ain't shit compared to the 206. Oh my mama. I mean, like, you make all that money.
All right,
Why?
we're getting off topic now. Hold on, let's
Look.
get back to the self-care.
That is self-care.
Hair and nails is self-care, though.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah, go get your hair done for real. I'm just kidding. And go get your nails done. Go get your feet done and live your best life. All right.
So what have you done to take care of yourself?
For me,
Hey, with
for
me,
me, it has been hair and nails. No,
For real.
it's more about family, being more active with my family and interacting with my family. Because day-to-day life, we tend to forget about that.
Right.
You know, and my kids are older. My kids are 24 and 23. So I'm like, oh, you're grown. You guys got it now. You guys are doing good. You're doing well. I'm
Right.
thinking you're doing well. But we're still not sitting down and having them talk about how are you really doing?
Mhm.
How are you really doing? Like, I'm thinking you're doing good, but how are you really doing? So me just doing that, and my daughter opening up to me about something she was going through at school and all that, opened my eyes, because probably if this didn't happen, I wouldn't have the time to sit down and talk to her about it. So let her feel better. So at the end of the day, it's family. It's family for me.
Yeah, that's dope. And
Yeah.
I think, and just encouraging, that's build what we do that too. Like, really, how do we really check in with each other?
Right.
And I've seen Girl Trek, and I know you're modeling that with Double Dutch Divas, is really how do you guys really have that sisterhood and the check and balance? How can we really keep it 100, keep it funky
Right.
with each other,
Mhm.
and support each other in meaningful ways? Like, really push each other to greatness, right? Because sometimes it's easy to go with the flow, and this is what we've been told who we are and how we're supposed to act and all this. But how do we really push each other to be better? And that's what you're talking about, like the positivity. So
Right. And it's collaboration too. Like, it's like, okay, so Double Dutch Divas is popping, but
Right.
Girl Trek is popping too.
Right.
And I told, like, we were doing our Girl Trek chant, and or just for the Emotion Fest, right? So we
Right.
had to combine it. So, you know, I got the shirts made to combine Double Dutch Divas and Girl Trek, right? But we always be like, who's in the house? Who's in the house? Girl Trek's in the house, you know. Look. I told Double Dutch Divas, I said, when I do that chant, who's in the house? Who's in the house? I said, you bet not say Double Dutch Divas,
Right.
because it's Girl Trek.
Right.
I'm Girl Trek first.
right,
Period, point blank. Just like Double Dutch Divas. Okay, I have a nonprofit and it's Amped Up 3D, right? Amped is AMT, Alicia Marie Thomas. That's my homegirl, rest in peace, right? Up. And then 3D is Double Dutch Divas. So when you say amped up, it's like pumped up, but amped up ain't spelled AMT. It's,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking my homegirl, man, that's my best friend. And I said, she will always be in my life forever, no matter what. And Double Dutch is too.
Right.
So Amped Up is Alicia Marie Thomas, hands down, all the time.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I incorporate that. But it's all in one. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Right.
So there won't be no miscombobulation with Double Dutch Divas and Girl Trek ever. It ain't gonna be, oh, I'm Double Dutch Divas. No, because there's a lot of Double Dutch Divas that are Girl Trek anyway.
Right. It's all community anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, right.
you know
Off
what I'm
top.
saying? And then if you're Girl Trek, you're Double Dutch Divas. Like,
Right.
period. We don't pay to be in Girl Trek. We don't pay to be in Double Dutch Divas. If you know how to double dutch and you come consistently, you're Double Dutch Divas. If you walk 30 minutes a freaking day, you're Girl Trek. Come on, period. Like, own it and
Easy
do the
math.
pledge. Easy math all day.
Easy math. So, what advice would you give someone looking to get into community work? A lot of times, we all got in at some point, right? So, And just with the movement, a lot of people are getting more activated. And at some point, we got to pass the torch to generation now. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's we got to have succession planning. So, I know you said you mentor a lot of young folks and this and that. So, what advice would you give somebody looking to get into community work?
I look at it like you got to be consistent. So for real, I'm always joking a little bit, but if you want to get into community work, you have to really, really, really be consistent, and you really have to be honest with yourself. You can't be like, oh, I'm about to go do this because I'm for you, but then you go home and you're for a whole different situation, because you can't be fake for that long. It's too hard to be fake. So just keep it 100. It's easier to keep it for real. So being in the community, then you have to have an open mind and not be opinionated all the time. You have to listen to other people's advice. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to collaborate, and you have to know how to give input. You can't just be telling people what to do and where to go and how to be and think somebody's about to respect you. If you want somebody to do something, you got to do it with them, because it's a team. You're not about to tell me to go out and collect some funds and be about the community, and you sitting over here watching Netflix,
right,
eating donuts and drinking water.
Put the feet to the pavement.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see you doing the same thing I do.
Right.
That's just like with preachers, and they want to have you get saved, but it be the ones that be like, man, I was a pimp back in the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nobody that was like, oh, I was holier than thou for my whole life. I'm like, no, that ain't true. You know? So to be in the community, you have to do that, and you have to be willing. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to go out of your comfort zone and go talk to that student. And you see that student, and that student, and he over there popping it, or she's over there popping it. You got to be like, are you guys supposed to be cussing? I went to a late night and they was cussing. They had the music on. It was all the stuff. And I'm like, man, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, Angie, you ain't no sucker. Go talk to them.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so they're all like, oh, the bitch and the bitch and the bitch. And I'm like, so this is the kind of music you guys listen to? They looking at me all crazy. They don't know me, because I'm just filling in.
Right.
But I'm somebody. And you probably think I'm 21, but I've been here for a minute. So is that what you want to do? You want to listen to music that got all that cussing? One girl was like, oh, it ain't even mine. I'm not even playing it, but you're listening to it. So whose is it? They're all looking at each other. Whose phone is playing the music? So you have to be able to be bold enough to go to whoever, but not in a negative way, but just in a positive way, to give that advice, because they're going to look up to you. But if you back down and you're like, oh, go ahead and play the music, they're going to be like, she used to let me listen to all this stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they're smoking weed, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, Miss Angie, you want to hit the weed? Like, no. Like, why would I do that? So don't be doing stuff with these young students or whatever and think that you're going to be their best friend. All they're going to do is be like, oh yeah, I used to do this with this. They're not going to respect you. They're going to respect you if you be like, stop doing that, stop cussing. You're not supposed to be smoking weed on premises or whatever. They're going to be like, man, Miss Angie, this is what they say. Miss Angie, man, you used to have me doing push-ups because I was cussing and all this, but I love you. They love me right now.
They respect that.
Yeah, they respect that in the long run, because I help them become to wherever they're at right now, whoever they are right now on that positive level. I'm glad that I helped you make it to this far, instead of encouraging you to do the wrong thing. And now you over here, and then you be like, oh, I'm in this situation because you used to smoke weed with me. Right. Like DMX, what he say? His head honcho or mentor used to smoke weed with him. Right. Or something. Introduced him to it. Drugs, and now he ain't even here no more. But that was his last memory. Like, if he didn't smoke weed with him or whatever happened, I don't know. Then he would, like, I don't know. It's certain things that certain kids remember, but it's more of what you taught them what not to do.
Well, and it goes back to pushing people to their greatness, right? Sometimes it's a difficult, hard conversation instead of saying, yeah, this is who they are, what they are, this is all they're going to be. It's like, no, you're better than that.
That whole part.
And these are the expectations. And if you're rocking with me, then
that whole part. Come on.
This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's, and like you said, in the long run, when you look back, a lot of folks, the analogy I give, growing up, like, that's why build's important to me, because like being surrounded around Black men that are doing positive things. Because a lot of times when I was growing up, I thought they were putting me on, but really they were putting me in traffic. They were putting me in the fast lane. I was going straight to the express lane with no license. I was doing too much. I was playing in traffic. And so, and hindsight's 2020. And then it was like, okay, it's cool. I'm learning the game. This is whatever. But when you look back, it's like, nah, man, that really wasn't the move. That's suicidal behavior. Penitentiary chances. It ain't really worth it. So, So I appreciate you highlighting that. And like sometimes, like I say, even if we don't know these kids, that's part of the problem too. Is adults in our community are scared to talk to our kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And it's not even on the
to
negative thing.
Right.
Talk to the kids.
Period.
What if the kid is over there and not saying nothing? Then you're like, oh, that kid is a good kid because that kid ain't saying nothing. But that kid needs you to go over there and be like, how are you doing today?
Everybody wants to be seen.
That whole part.
Everybody wants to be seen. So see them for greatness and positive. Don't only see them when they're acting up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
high five.
Come
on.
Like everybody wants to be
real.
seen because okay, you don't see me.
Yeah.
I'm knocking all this
Then
over.
Yeah,
I'm knocking all this over. You're gonna see me one way or the other.
Yeah.
So that's real. So how do folks? It's going to be in the description. It's in the description. But I want to, we know as you educate. You're in education.
Mm-hmm.
One way more. So we know people taking information differently. So how's the best way for people to get in touch with Double Dutch Divas and stay up with what you guys got going on?
Disha, you say that, and I'll chime in because I want to see how other people take it.
Well, on Facebook, there's 206 Finest Double Dutch Divas. We're always posting what's going on, events that are happening, and you can join in and become a member if you're involved. And Instagram is also 206 Double Dutch Divas.
And so what I do, I try to communicate because there's so many people and to communicate to, and how you gonna reach everybody, right? So in the beginning, right, social media, but we also have our little group chats and stuff like that. So I was like, I want a Double Dutch, you know what I'm saying? And I was just putting it on my Facebook, but then I said, if I make a Double Dutch page, then I can just, people can just show up when they want to. So that's how I incorporated that. I didn't even know about the events, how to create an event on there.
Right.
I learned that afterwards. So to reach Double Dutch Divas on Facebook is 206 Finest Double Dutch Divas in Unity. And then on Instagram is Boss Lady Double Dutch Divas. But I think on Instagram, you can just put Angie Mosley in it to show up. You know what I'm saying? And then there's an email, and it's doubledutchdivas@yahoo.com. And then it's doubledutchdivas 777@gmail.com. Sometimes I get the gmail.org because I'm not used to all this I'm not used to all this email.
Gmail.
Right. I'm not used to all this email. When I first got my Yahoo, I thought you had to pay a monthly fee.
Right.
For real. I was like, yeah. So I'm not with all that. But also, I do a group chat. You know what I'm saying? Because I need, and I got board members. Like we're real. Like I got the Double Dutch Divas LLC, and then I got the Amped Up 3D, the nonprofit organization. But then, man, my people, like we got a set of homegirls, and everybody know. You know what I'm saying? We got a set of homegirls that really go hard from the bottom. Like we started from the bottom, now we're here.
Right.
And we communicate, you know what I'm saying? We communicate about what's going on. And I mean, Disha started, we got Toya Sagittarius, you know what I'm saying? We got Birdie, we got Devon, we got Michelle Reese, that's my sister, we got Renee, we got Nikki, you know what I'm saying? Sharae and Monique. So this was all in our group chat. And I'm like, we about to do Double Dutch Divas, and they're like, we got you. And they never knocked the vision. Oh, and Chanel, but she moved to New York. Represent, baby. I got you. But they never knocked my vision. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be like, man, I used to be like Michael Jackson. When I make it, we all make it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not playing with that because it's a baby, and they helped me, create this together.
Right.
We all had a vision, and they had my back with that, and I appreciate that. And there's others. But this was like the started from the bottom. Now we're here. And I told them when Double Dutch Divas, when it goes somewhere, and it's going to go somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Because it's more than just a sport. And it's not no all girl sport. It's a girl sport, boy sport.
You guys didn't think I had the juice.
Man, you got the juice.
They didn't think I had the juice.
It's a family thing. It creates family bonding. It helps with anxiety. It takes away the depression. There might be somebody over in the corner that won't do nothing, but then when Double Dutch come, they get up out their comfort zone.
Right.
People be meeting, new friends. You know what I'm saying? Just the other day, there's two women that didn't know each other before Double Dutch Divas, and then I call them, they together, they're on live. I said, well, where are you at? Come get me. Like, you guys didn't even, like y'all met because of me. Well, come pop it. And they kicked it. We saw each other the next day and they kicked it. And it brings unity in the community. And that's what I like to see. It's not an all black thing, or all white thing, or all boy thing, or all girl thing. Everybody comes and everybody wants to do it. And we're welcoming everybody to come live this life of healthy living, healthy willing, because you got to be willing to live healthy. It is just all in one. Come all. Period.
That's dope.
Period.
So the last question, I always try to, live in equity, right? And I've been controlling the conversation, asking questions. So the last question is, you guys have any questions for me?
I do. How long have you been doing Build? And did you start it, or?
Yeah, me and 4 other brothers started Build. We have other core team members now. So we started in 2013. But I've been doing community work since 2005. My brother passed in 2004, and I really got depressed for like a year, and then I started volunteering, and it just snowballed from there. And then we've been doing Build since 2013 strong. So yeah, it's been popping.
Yeah.
Well, I had a question. We was at the house, and then we were looking at the questions. It was like, well, do you have any questions for me? I'm like, yeah, we want all the answers. We're set. Because so you do interviews, but I mean, not to say that you ain't never been interviewed, but now as far as because I want to know, I think there's room for improvement for everybody.
Right.
So as far as to be in the community, I know that you have to volunteer. You don't have to volunteer, but it's good to volunteer, because when you volunteer, it gives you opportunity to know what's going on in the facility that you really want to work at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with community outlook and bringing unity into the community, you guys started in 2013. But what keeps you going during hard times or under pressure times, or your team, you guys are bumping heads and then there's 3 against 1, or whatever the situation may be? What do you do in those situations? Well,
I think I remember why I do what I do, and I do what I do in the legacy, kind of like you with your best friend, in the legacy of my brother. Like, so much wasted talent. We done lost so much wasted talent, even we continue to see it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think if people really understand their value and their worth and their gifts, sometimes people don't even really get to tap in to figure out what their gifts are, because we're being told. You talk about reality TV, music, all this stuff is telling us, even our families, because we've all been socialized, we're being told that we're less than, or we're supposed to behave a certain way and act a certain way. So people aren't even really able to share who they are with the world, because we're being watered down. And then when they've been doing that shit since we got here. You know what I'm saying? So I just always remember like why I do what I do. And then I got a 13-year-old son, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to make sure that I leave the world a better place for him than what I had. We talk about education, we talk about degrees. I went to 10 schools from kindergarten to 12th grade. I mean, they was punting me on, first and goal, first and inches. They were like, punt this cat, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, and I know I'm filthy, you know what I mean? And so if I can do what I can do, coming from where I came from and things I've been through, the adversity I've dealt with and overcame and been resilient, then anybody can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just giving opportunity, like you said, investing, planting the seed, growing the seed, watering the seed, nurturing the seed, bringing somebody else. Hey, I'm gonna be gone from. I need you to pass. I'm gonna pass this plant on this. That resonates with me. It's really about life. Like Tupac said, I may not be the one who changed the world, but I'll spark the one who does. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what keeps me going. And then like as far as like arguments and adversity, we all don't get along all the time. We're all, but I'm always open to have conversations to try to resolve the situation. It doesn't mean that we're going to come to an agreement, but we are open. Me and Isaiah done bumped heads. All of us done bumped heads. But at the end of the day, we're brothers. At the end of the day, so we need to have conversations, and we know we love each other. Right. And that's really what is rooted in. Like you said, it's about the outcome, not the income. Right. That's really like we're with that too. Like if you're real about it, one of my OGs, Larry Evans, lays me up. Like if you're real about it, the money's going to come because they need
Mhm.
us more than we need them.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
And they know it.
right, off top.
Right.
And so once we know what our value is and we stop chasing what they tell us to chase, the peanuts, once we know our value, then it's over. You know what I mean? And once we start building relationships and accountable partnerships and leverage the resources that we have, and a lot of the resources we have is the relationships, the people power.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, people be throwing events and spending all this money and got 20 people at their events. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you're really tapped in and you can leverage those relationships, then ultimately it's not even about numbers, it's about quality over
Right.
quantity, right? So
Yes.
so that's what keeps me going is really one, remembering why I do what I do, you know, staying true to our mission and vision. My son, my brother I lost, and a number of other people I lost, and kids I work with that lost. That's like been the hardest thing for me to navigate. That's what makes me want to give them when I work with a young person, and I feel like I let them down. I feel like I let their parents down. I feel like I let the community down when really it's out of my control.
Mhm.
But it still feels like I could have done something.
Right.
It's hard. You know, that's
Right.
really hard for me to process that. It's like, what else could I have done to stop this situation from happening?
Right.
This loss of talent, this loss of life.
Right. I agree. I agree. You know, and just with having two sons, it's just like with all the different programs that, you know, my son is in, like Ocean is in a lot of programs. My oldest, little OJ, I don't know why I still call him little OJ, but he was more of the independent. He don't want to do all that. But he had one mentor, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't even his mentor. He was like the Black Student Union, Conrad, you know what I'm saying? He was at the Auburn Mountain View High School. He was the head honcho of the Black Student Union. But a situation happened and my son didn't want to talk to the counselor. But I was like, well, what are you going to do? He was like, I don't want to talk to the counselor, but I'll talk to Conrad.
Right.
And I'm like,
a relationship.
Yeah. So I'm like, who's this Conrad guy? So I call Conrad. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really know, but my son talks about you, but you're his new counselor. Like, but Conrad's dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about the position that you play.
Right.
Like I'm an educator. You know, I've had my students since kindergarten and he's in the 10th grade now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm his advocate. But let me tell you that I can walk down the hallway and a student is talking bad to their homeroom teacher. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, hey, Miss Angie, but how you going to respect me and you can't respect that teacher?
Right.
I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm not going to give you kudos for disrespecting that teacher, but you give me respect. Yeah, give me respect by giving that teacher the respect because consistent. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? So when they look at that, they're like, dang, man, Angie don't play. You know what I'm saying? She don't let me get away with nothing. But that's what our kids need is for us not to let them get away with the BS. I ain't going to be like bull SHIT, but the BS, and BS is BS. Pull their card. They're going to love you later. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that saying is where you gonna love me later. You know, whatever it is. I don't know. You know, I'll make up my own. Yeah, hate me now, but love me later. Whatever. I don't know, but I'm just saying. It's for real.
I have another question. So where do you see Build in the next 5 years? So honestly, I probably heard about you guys maybe like 5-6 years ago. I didn't know. But over this time, I'm like, wow, they're like really out there, really in the community, really putting together events and bringing us together and everything. So, I mean, you're in the right direction. I know with the pandemic, it's held back a whole lot.
I taught them guys that.
But like, where do you see yourself? I want to see yourself like in the next 5 years.
I gave you your first set of double Dutch rolls.
You did, man. I said, Dre, man, you got the goods, man. Let me get them ropes real quick. And he let
pull up.
He said, pull up, and I had him, and I
had it here with the eyeballs a couple times because I wasn't getting them back.
He was like, "Where's my double Dutch ropes?" I was like, "I got
you." Some ropes.
Yeah, in the truck.
Oh,
you put us on for our first double Dutch session. We had them for like 3 weeks. You know, I was
So I get that question. I get that question a lot, and really, I don't know. I'm not trying to build an empire or nothing like that. I'm just trying to do work in the community and show love, and wherever it goes, there's a plan. I'm just trying to believe that things happen for a reason. So, you know, you asking to borrow the ropes happen for a reason. You know, you doing what you happen for a reason. You guys popping up at the block party happen for a reason. You know, me reaching out saying that let's do an interview. It's, you know, so there's no way to plan what's going to happen. So I don't have like no grand vision to answer your question. Simply, I don't really have and I'm not trying to build an empire. I'm not trying to, you know, take over the world. I'm not trying to do none of that. I just want to show that black men can love each other, black men and women can love each other, the community can love each other, and we're hella dope.
Right.
And how do we show the resiliency and the resources that we have and work with each other and build relationships, trust, and respect and accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
I mean, with positive black men influences positive black, women. And
Right.
so, like I always say, every king needs a queen.
Right.
But we can't be having no roughneck king trying to, pop up on no, calm queen or whatnot. So I think that when you guys do your sessions together or whatever you guys do to build, you're not just building, but you're building your mind. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because there's a lot of greatness that comes out when you guys are together and building and collaborating. And, one person might be going through something and then the other person has that calm, like, nah, that ain't the way you do it,
Right.
bro. You know what I'm saying? And then, but he's only listening to you because you guys are brothers.
Right. The respect.
The
Right.
respect. So all that greatness happens when you guys come together, and that's with everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I
Teamwork
love it.
makes the dream
Team,
work.
help, come on. Who says that? Yeah. that's like
free game right
that
there.
whole time. And they be like, "What's your logo?" I be like, "Teamwork makes the dream work." And I be like, I patented that a long time ago. So whoever's using my
You
stuff,
ain't got no patent on that. Hold on, man. You just-
That's been
you ain't got no price.
no, I made that.
I done heard it all now.
I see it happen in real life. Huh?
No, yeah, that whole part. Yeah, I love it. But
So Build is looking forward to continuing to partner and grow with you guys and see how whatever we could do to support and vice versa. It's a natural partnership. Actually, we've done these barbershop series where we go into barbershop to have conversations, and we want to do something similar like a salon series, which we're trying to wrap our mind around how to make it happen, especially with the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe it could be a podcast or something that we do virtually where we can just have conversations and really figure out how people, kind of what we talked about, how are people dealing with stuff, how do people feel about things, and just be all the way real and all the way funky with it. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely need to make sure. So I'll probably tap in with you guys to see how we can partner and get your guys' voices at the table. We want to make sure we get, we want to make sure we're reflective of the community that we're trying to serve. You know what I mean?
definitely.
So let's wrap this up. So I appreciate you guys coming out and spending some time with us on this interview. It's always good energy.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Is this my ropes? You bring my ropes back?
No, but I got look.
Oh, you never got your roast back?
So look.
No, we got them back.
Oh.
These so I just need to give a shout out to Michelle Reese because she works at Les Shot, and she's something like not something like a family support worker, but it's a family support worker, but times 10.
Right.
And then because Double Dutch ropes, they sell them, but they're so freaking light. We like Double Dutch ropes that are heavy, and so she got these from her PE teacher, and we're trying to figure out where he got them from. But so these are some ropes. We're trying to see if Dre want to jump because he thinks he's the Double Dutch king. But I said I'm gonna pull up. We're gonna pull up with the Double Dutch ropes. We might go outside and do a couple sessions or whatever. But just to give a shout out to her because she's very resourceful. You know what I'm saying? Like she has resources within the community for like family support. You know what I'm saying, and all that. But I have some Double Dutch ropes and I was putting tape on them to try to make them heavier. I'm trying to figure it out because I just don't know what to do, and she's like, I got you. She brought 3 sets of ropes to like when we were practicing for the Emoja Festival, and she brought these ropes, and she might be like, oh, that wasn't nothing big, but that was huge because I've been using them. We use them for the Emoja Festival parade. We've been using them at our sessions, and I use them for work because now that Double Dutch Divas is popping, I've been getting hired to teach young kids how to double dutch, and we've been using these, and it's everything. So I just want to say, sis, can we just have these?
I'm sure.
Can we just?
I'm sure that's one of the problem.
No, I'm just.
If we need to cut a check or something, let us know.
Like I just can we just have them? No, I love you, sis, and you're doing a good job, and keep up the good work. To 206 Finest Double Dutch Divas, to the crew, man, I love everybody. I wish I could say the rest of you guys' names, but I'll get in trouble if I miss it. So started from the bottom, now we're here. I don't want to get slapped by nobody. I got some hard honchos on the team. So yeah, best believe after this, we're gonna have a meeting. We might go out and have dinner tonight.
All right, y'all. This is Dre with Bill 206. Brothers
Hobby.
Brothers United Leadership Development, Bill 206 Media. This is Build the Collective Network. I'm in the studio with the Double Dutch Divas.
Holla.
And they're making it happen. So, all right, y'all, we'll be in touch. Peace.
Peace.